Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 playthrough. This time, we're actually going to Kingdom Valley, and in the last part, we tried to go to Wave Ocean with Tails, but just as we thought, Tails failed to catch up with the egg here. So now, before we head off to Kingdom Valley, I want to show you a few things in the shop, and these are the gems. And right now, there's the red gem, the blue gem, and the green gem, and I want to address the elephant in the room on what's that, the action gauge or energy bar on the bottom right. Yeah, so get this. The instruction manual in the booklet actually explains that whenever Sonic defeats certain enemies, the orbs he gets are meant to fill up his blue energy bar on the bottom right. And he could use the energy bar to, use the gems in Soleanna that he can buy in the shops. And it also said that he can upgrade them to level 3, as I would have said if they actually finished the game. But for real though, the state that the game is, because Sonic's energy meter is not coded properly, that means that Sonic's energy bar is unlimited. In other words, he can, abuse the gems where anytime he wants to without any energy cost whatsoever. And it also means in the multiplayer, he can cheat alive. Anyone could play as Sonic and could use the gems for any time they want to. Oh, and also I forgot to mention that there's supposed to be a shield power-up in the game, according to the instruction manual, but it doesn't even show up in the game. Although you could get one through hacking. But yeah, anyway folks, I'm going to show off the gems we got. I got the one we got in the shop is the blue gem, the red gem, and the green gem, which I'm going to show off in a second. So yeah, first off, the blue gem. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop here. Yeah, so yeah, that's the green gem that allows you to do a spin attack or a tornado attack. That's supposed to freeze up time a little bit. The blue gem is supposed to increase Sonic's, he's going to his top speed. Yeah, he's supposed to increase his top speed. The only time it's useful for is you're going to big open areas. And the red gem is supposed to freeze time. Well, it is helpful if you want to get more S ranks more easily with the red gem. And yeah, because Sonic's energy bar is not programmed properly, you can literally use something like the red gem in town missions, get S ranks more easily. Actually, first, speaking of town missions, I'm going to show off one of the town missions in the game. I'm going to talk to this guy right here, Pinto. And yeah, we're going to do a town mission. This is Pele the Beloved Dog. Probably the most infamous town mission in the game. So yeah, so if I could show off the red gem, yeah, just slow down the time a little bit. So what do you do for Pele the Beloved Dog is you're supposed to guide this dog named Pele. And it's a realistic looking dog, by the way. It's not a cartoonish looking animal dog. It's like a realistic one. So yeah. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to guide Pele to Peto, the owner. As to why he didn't do it himself, I have no idea. But yeah, he's supposed to walk really slowly. And yeah, the red gem can be... It's great for majority missions, but not for missions if you're an escort mission pretty much, or you have to guide either Pele or any of the townspeople. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk really slowly because I'm walking a dog. Again, I mentioned before in the last part where the human models in CG cutscenes is okay, but for in-game it's just bad. Yeah, I mean, everyone else except, the human models for Sonic characters, the anthropomorphic ones, are constructed okay, and I know this is an early Xbox 360 PlayStation 3 title, but it's just so glaring to see a realistic animal and an anthropomorphic one like Sonic, for example. It just clash so weirdly. But yeah, we're almost there. We're almost done the town mission. I'm supposed to take him to just keep it on the star. The star is basically where Pele is, and hopefully he follows me to his owner. Yeah, hopefully I do like the whole music going on. I mean, that's okay. I do like the whole setting of the music. But yep, that's Pele. And I'm gonna talk to the owner, see if we get him. Yep, there we go. Finish the town mission. And yeah, that's it. Again, for town missions like the red gem, you could just hold down the right trigger, or the R trigger to activate the gem, and you get easy S ranks for the town missions. So yeah, folks. But now we're gonna go to our next town mission. I'm probably do one more town mission before we head off to Kingdom Valley. So yeah, we're gonna go to this guy right here. This is Sonic Man. He's supposed to be a fan of me for some. Yeah, yeah, I do like the whole t-shirt, the original Genesis 1991 game. So yeah, we're supposed to race him, and overall it's pretty easy. Just avoid there's like spike balls in the arena, and if you touch one of the spike balls, you automatically fail the mission. So, yep, abuse the red gem. Keep going to the direction where the arrow is, and you should beat him in no time. Especially, again, you can just hold down the red trigger for the red gem, and Sonic Man just literally running in slow motion, and you can just overlap him. Yeah, it's like just follow the arrow. I gotta watch out. There's a spike ball there. Also, I make sure I dodge the speed boost, because you hit the speed boost, it leads you directly towards the spike ball. So yep, and yeah, that's it for the town mission. That's the finish line. Really pathetically easy with the red gem. Though it'll be pretty hilarious from Sonic Man's perspective. Like, since I activated the red gem, he's running in slow motion, and he was like, wait, why am I running in slow motion? It's like, yeah, because you could literally cheat it, and I've been saying this again, because since Sonic's energy bar is not coded properly due to the reason why it's not coded properly is because there was a misspelled variable in the game file. So if you're familiar with things like Python, Tawny, Python, C++, or any other coding classes you take in school, like in the game files, it says what it's supposed to say is like C dash like gem, like, you know, like C bracket gem, instead of like, you know, beginning of the game file, it says C underscore, no, not underscore, like C bracket a gauge, and then closing bracket, and then gem. So that's why energy bar is not coded properly, because it has to gauge in the game file. So, you know, because they didn't have time to fix the problem, that's why it's unlimited for Sonic's normal state. If you know, then you know. Okay, maybe I didn't explain it clearly, or I didn't explain it properly, but you get the idea. But yeah, anywho, so now we're supposed to before we head out to the castle, we're supposed to talk to the bishop to get the gate to open. So what you want to do is, you pretty much have to talk to the bishop, and he'll let you give you the trials of Soleanna. And you have to head to the church area where the bell is. Yeah, the trials of Soleanna, like, it has like, there's 4 separate loading screens in the trial. So again, text box, actual mission, result screen, and take you back. So yeah, is this because like with 3 trials of Soleanna, that means a total of 12 load times, and if you fail one of the missions, you have to do another 4. So in other words, if you fail one of the missions, you have to deal from 12 loading screens to 16 total loading screens. And yeah, it's just very ridiculous how they didn't see that. And yeah, this is kind of frustrating. But yeah, hey folks, now we got to the new forest, and this is where we're starting the first trial. This is the test of intelligence. So the test of intelligence is pretty much just you going through different number of portals. Yeah, different number of portals, and the number on it will tell you which area you've gone to first. So I jumped in number 1, and now I'm number 2. So I had to make sure I'm going to the right portals, because again, like Sonic's saying over and over again, by touching the warp portal, he'll send you to a different point. So you gotta know where you're going. Make sure make sure you're making progress. So yeah, that's number 4. And to be honest, guys, I haven't memorized the whole like portals. So sometimes, yeah, most of the time they just send me back to the first portal or the warp hole. So make sure you memorize the location. Make sure you memorize where you're going. And that'll lead you to the goal ring. And okay, that's in 2. Okay, now in 3. It's that's number 4, and I believe that should be number. Yeah, that's number 5, I believe. Yeah, that's number 5. Here, there, and now we head to the goal ring. So yeah, folks, that's the end of the test of intelligence, and yeah, because that took too long, we're gonna see what I got. Okay, 25,000 points. So I gotta be. Because I took too long in the portals, because I was going to reverting back to the first warp hole. So yeah. Alright, now we have the other 2 town missions. The next one we're gonna do is the test of courage. So basically for this one, you gotta like defeat a certain amount of enemies without getting hit once. If one of the enemies hit you or shoot you once, yeah, you die and you have to restart the town mission again. Or yeah, because it's just because there's no rings, and you gotta make sure your jumps count, make sure you know where they are. Oh, and make sure you don't accidentally jump on top of them or ram into them. because you can't jump into enemies in the game. You can only homing attack. Like all previous game, you can literally jump into enemies without the homing attack. For this one, if you jump into any of the enemies, it'll count as a death, and you have to start over again. Well, once again, I'm using the red gem, and I could freeze time a little bit. Well, not all of them, but yeah, as long as you look at your radar and tell you where the red dots are, there's only, I guess the only time it's gonna be bad is that if they have a lucky shot on you, that they're able to connect you with the missiles or any bullets or Vulcan cannon. But yeah, other than that, it's like pretty straightforward boss. Oh no, sorry, not boss, straightforward mission. Yeah, I mean, not much there is to say for this part. It's like any other town mission. We had to defeat all the enemies. Alright, that was the end of the town mission, and now we're going to head on to the third, trial of Soleanna of the game. And, yeah, just use the combo attack on use the bounce bracelet and homing attack combo on the enemies, and it'll be pretty easy. You could beat it in like less than a few minutes. Alright folks, so now we're going to have the last trial in the game. This is the Trial of Love. Now, for the Trial of Love, you basically have two either options to choose who's Sonic's, in love interest. You could either choose Princess Elise on the left or Amy Rose on the right.
Sonic, I've been thinking about you a lot. I'll be waiting for you to the left.
Now, like any other normal person, I'm going with Amy Rose because that's really the most sensible and reasonable choice to make, and that's really the most common thing to do. So yeah, if you pick Princess Elise, then I don't know what to say. Just clearly something wrong with you, and you need to touch some grass. And I'm going with Amy Rose all the way. So screw Elise, I'm going with Amy. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter which one you choose. You get an easy S rank regardless. But like any other person would do, I went to Amy Rose because it's really the most sensible and reasonable choice to make.
Hey.
Alright, now you folks. So now we finished all the trials. Now we're gonna take this eagle, and it'll take us to our next level in the game, which is Kingdom Valley. So let me get on the eagle. Yeah, that's like, you're gonna see this eagle like from the title screen and all throughout the game. So yeah, this eagle is like pretty interesting game. So yeah, that's next level Kingdom Valley, and Tails is already there for some reason.
You look like you're in a hurry.
So, what's going on?
Circumstances have changed. I need to rescue the princess.
Well, looks like somebody talked some sense into Silver. But yeah, folks, this here is Kingdom Valley. Now, if you're not familiar with the E3 2005-2006 demo of Kingdom Valley, this level has gone through a lot of changes through the beta and the final game. And as you see, the skies is a lot more darker, unlike in the E3 demo of Kingdom Valley, where the sky is like a lot clearer. And also, I will show off the comparison between Kingdom Valley from the E3 demo to the final game in an extra video. So, and yeah, in the extra video, I'm going to show off like all the remaining town missions. But yeah, so Kingdom Valley it's split up into like, I believe 3 or 4 different parts, and this is the time where you can take control of Silver, and yeah, I do like the whole like thing of Kingdom Valley. I don't think Kingdom Valley is not too bad. Now there will be a spoiler alert, there will be a mock speed section at the end of the section, because it's the last section where you're doing Sonic. But yeah, I mean, it's really impressive how like the E3, there's a lot of stuff that changed from the stage from the E3 into the final game. Now, unfortunately, E3 is no longer here, so yeah, I believe, yeah, E3 is like closed down, I believe in 2022 or 2023, I believe. And yeah, it's a little bummer, but at least we know like we have footage on what's the difference between the beta the final game, and they were like what kind of ambition they're taking Sonic, on what direction they're taking the franchise in for the demo. Oh, and also like to mention that originally, in the beta, it was gonna have like a day and night cycle. I think the longer you spend in the level, it'll change from daytime to nighttime. Now that concept is different. For Sonic Unleashed have the same concept where if it's daytime you get as normal Sonic, and if it's nighttime you basically control the Werehog. But obviously it was cut due to time constraints. And again, I will show off in the extra video on what I mean by this, and also some other things in the game for Sonic's playthrough anyways. Yeah, I'm just showing off the green gem. It's kind of helpful taking up small enemies for the tornado. And yeah, that is like one realistic looking eagle. Like I've been talking about this game a lot on the realistic environments, realistic humans, animals, stuff like that, but at least some of the animals are okay, but it's just the humans are like kind of questionable. Like both, you know, anthropomorphic and non-anthropomorphic animals. Also, I like how it's completely odd that after Silver saves Sonic from Eggman's robots, Sonic doesn't even like hold any grudges or any like questions Silver, like why did you change side all of a sudden. Like he just doesn't really care. That he's like, okay, yeah, what's going on? And Silver says circumstances change, even though the guy tried to kill him like twice. Like he could use the Force and literally do stuff like that. I mean, it's not like Sonic Adventure 2 where, you know, Sonic is like obsessed with Shadow and how he want to get back at him, and people are calling him a faker. It's like Sonic doesn't even care about like Silver. It's like even in the jail cell in Sonic Adventure 2, like he talked about Amy, that the reason why he's there because of Shadow, and how much he want to get back at him. Okay, folks, that is the end of the first part, and now we're gonna head on to the second section of Kingdom Valley. This time we're controlling Silver.
I'll go on ahead.
Alright, folks, so yeah, Silver's gameplay is a lot different from Sonic's. For instead of homing attack or using a slide kick like Sonic, he uses his psychokinesis, which is his telekinetic powers, to pick up certain objects and throw them at enemies. Like he could pick up boxes, crates, barrels, and some enemy types. Now he could also use it to open cages and whatnot. Another attack, he could use his psychic pimp slap move, where he can, whenever he's near an enemy, he could stun them and he could just pick them up and throw them. Now, as you can see with Silver's ground speed, he's the slowest of the character type, as he does not run really fast. I mean, he's slightly faster than Tails, but even still, it's not fast enough. And yeah, a lot of people complain that Silver's gameplay is honestly not good, and honestly, I could kind of agree with that. Because first of all, he can't really run fast, and also he has this levitation move he can do. So if you just keep spamming the A button, he can reach places a lot further than just if you hold down the A button. Because if you hold down the A button, it'll drain his levitation a lot faster. At least his energy bar works, unlike Sonic's. But yeah, just keep mashing the A button to get to certain objects, to certain places, and yeah, you always have to scour around, finding boxes and throw them at enemies. I mean, he can't just casually pick them up and throw them. He has to stun the enemies to do damage to them. Oh, and also he can catch missiles as well. Like yeah, he could catch a missile and throw it back at them. And yeah, I guess when we go to Silver's playthrough, we're gonna see more of Silver's ability. This is just like a raw Silver, just a basic Silver with no upgrades whatsoever. And yeah, a lot of people don't like Silver's gameplay because it's how inconsistent his psychokinesis is, and also like for somebody he can't, like, you know, do all this cool stuff as he did in cutscenes. And yeah, it's just, I guess we'll talk more on Silver once we get to his playthrough. But yeah, it's just you basically have to go around and use boxes, and also he can use his psychokinesis to lift up objects. Like I just did right there, I just created a path with crates. Now, I could compare Silver to like characters like Starkiller from Star Wars The Force Unleashed video games, where at least Starkiller in that game, he could run faster than Silver and use his lightsaber whenever his force ability needs to be charged, and also he can manually manipulate certain objects with the force rather than stunning them and then manipulate them, unlike Silver. Now, like, I could pick up stormtroopers and throw them at other stormtroopers with ease, and same thing, I could pick up TIE fighters or TIE bombers off the hangar rails and just throw them out or throw them at enemies. Yeah, I guess Force Unleashed, it's a different subject for another day, and I will consider doing a playthrough on that on the channel if I have the time. Then yeah, I'll make a Force Unleashed 1 and 2 playthrough. But yeah, Silver's like, he's like so like, because he doesn't reach that full potential, and I think that's the problem with Silver when they're developing 06, because he has a good idea, but he's not reached the full potential, or is not well executed. And I guess they realize it. They failed to, you know, give him the potential of a good gameplay design. At least Project 06, which is Project P06, if you've heard of any news on the update so far, at least they finally give him the love he needed, and he actually buffed him up with Silver's ability. He can run faster, he can manipulate objects without having to stun them a lot, and it increases maximum speed and can levitate. So Project 06 actually did a lot of things, like when they modded the game, and I think the new update I found is they're doing the last story segment, and yeah, it's just, they actually gave him the potential that for what this game should have got in the first place. But anywho, I'll save that later when we get to Silver's story. But yeah, right now we're back in control of Sonic, and this is the third part of Kingdom Valley, and yeah, it's just not too bad. It's just, you have to find different rooms here and there, and you have to take out certain bosses, and you have to try to go up. Oh, sorry, not bosses, like enemies in the game. And yeah, it's just, yeah, we have to get up here and open the glass door with the light dash. Oh, for some reason it glitched out on me. Yeah, that's like a problem, because when I was doing Radical Train's Mach Speed section, instead of me jumping onto the pillar, instead sometimes I clipped through it and end up resulting in my death. Yeah, sometimes glitches are more common in this game, and also like I could fall through certain objects when I'm not supposed to. But yeah, this. Okay, now yeah, it's just Kingdom Valley. I do like the whole like landscape and layout of Kingdom Valley, like I mentioned. Well, for Sonic's version anyways, as yeah, both Sonic and Silver has the same Kingdom Valley, but Shadow's one is a lot different, and we're gonna see the Shadow, because Shadow uses he still has vehicles, but they don't have the gun gameplay from Shadow the Hedgehog. Because I guess they realized that it was already a dumb idea, it's a ridiculous idea from the start when they're doing Shadow the Hedgehog. But yeah, folks, we're almost finished the third part of the third section of Kingdom Valley, and every time we reach it, yeah, I forgot to mention that every time we reach a new section, there's always a loading screen whenever you go to. So it's not just town missions. It's like depending on the section of the game, it's like it always like sometimes have like usually between like, I don't know, 2 to 4 loading screens, and that, it all depends on the level itself. Some loading screens have more, some have less loading screens. It all depends on the level and how much loading screens. So it's not just town missions that can have a lot of loading screens. But yeah, after this rail grinding section, I like how I forgot to mention, there's like, I like how Sonic is like grinding on like the misty wind or something, a cloud, a water stream. I thought it was pretty cool. He's like, grinding on that, because as much how bad the original Sonic 06 was, at least there are some things that are good. Like there are some good parts in the game compared to Shadow the Hedgehog, where I picked up and dropped down a lot. So, alright, anyway folks, that was it for the third section. Now we're heading off to the Mach Speed section of the game, and honestly this Mach Speed section is probably my favorite part in the game, because I mean, again, compared from the E3 2005 build to the final game, I like what they're doing with the whole like effects of the next generation for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and yeah, especially this part right here where as Sonic was running on the water, you can actually see like there's a lot more. Well, the beta version or the demo, it's like you have like a lot more like textures, a lot more effects on the water effects rather than the final game. And yeah, because I do like, yeah, because this is part of the pretty interesting part on how the effects is and how, I mean, it's constructed pretty okay and is in part for an early Xbox 360 PlayStation 3 title. But other than that, like other than that, it's pretty much any other mock speed section. Just make sure you not run into things. Make sure you use the lightspeed dash unless needed. Like only use it when you have to. Because if you end up running into a lot, if you use the lightspeed dash a lot. And yep, that's it for Kingdom Valley. Again, pretty okay level, and I don't know. Okay, I mean it's like pretty good level regardless.
No sweat.
And yeah, I'm like I was like 5,000 points off for an S rank. But yeah, anywho. Now we're gonna see a cutscene in the game, and I think the next part might be the final level in Sonic Story.
Huh? The engines are malfunctioning. And what's this? Stop all engines, now! Why is this happening? No! We're about to crash!
I think the problem is Dr. Eggman didn't even hit the keyboard hard enough.
Elise!
Wait. There's still a way to change this. If we return to an earlier point in time, we'll be able to save her.
I understand.
Chaos Control!
Silver! I could handle this myself. Besides, you got somewhere to go, right? You! I'll make sure to change Elise's fate. And that, in turn, should change your future, too. Thank you, Silver.
Yeah, just save her.
Alrighty folks, so yeah, apparently we used Chaos Control to time travel back to the past a moment before the egg carrier crashed. You know, it's kind of odd. If that timeline, when the egg carrier, you know, crashed, wouldn't that cause Iblis to be released? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, hey folks, in the next part, we're gonna do the final level of Sonic Story, and yeah, I'll be doing the finale for Sonic's playthrough, and I will show off the next video afterwards. So yeah, I'll see you guys in part 9.